A very good day to everybody. Continuing the understanding of the Jaina tradition, today we are going to understand what the Jaina Sangha is, or what is the concept of Jaina Sangha in Jainism. When you say Sangha, Sangha means a group of people, okay, a community of people sharing the same thoughts, having a common goal. Now, in Buddhism, the Sangha means multitude of sages. In Hinduism, it means a community of shared brotherhood. In Jainism, we understand Sangha as a congregation of Sadhu, Sādhvi, Shrāvak and Shrāvikās. Meaning, when the Tirthankara has given their preachings, teachings, share the experience among the people, at that time, few people who realize with the discourse of the Tirthankaras, few people really have a transformation, a transition, who would like to take a leap in their life. They become Sadhu and Sādhvis, meaning they renounce their worldly life, samsara, and become a tyagi, a renouncer, and they take into asceticism. They initiate themselves or take diksha, and they become Sadhu and Sādhvis. Means they follow mahavratas. And those who have some responsibilities, who have still not yet firm in taking a leap, a full leap into initiation, they follow the mahavrat in a partial way, in a limited way, means they follow anuvratas. They become Shrāvak and Shrāvikās, lay followers male and lay followers female. So the Tirthankaras, when the Tirthankara pass on this message, whatever they have seen in their omniscience, in Sarvagna, when they have attained Keval Gnan, this common goal of attaining liberation crystallizes in the mindsets of the people. And as I said, some become Sadhu Sādhvis and some become Shrāvak Shrāvikās. Meaning, it is not just by birth you become a Jaina. When you actually take these vows, one becomes a Jainas. Okay, it is those who follow the Jina are Jainas. Who is a Jina? A Jina who has conquered his senses. Okay, who has become a Siddha, who is a Tirthankara, and you follow their message. You practice that in your life, and for the goal is moksha, liberation. So who is a Shramana? The first Shramana, Shramanis. In Prakrit you say Samana, and in Sanskrit you say Shramana. So it is one who is equanimous, okay, who follows equanimity in life. Second, who does Shrama. That means who is arduous in a self-effort, and who is equanimous in the lifestyle. So this is Shramana. Shraman and Shramani, or Sadhu and Sādhvi. And Shrāvak and Shrāvikās are those who follow the anuvratas. Now when you say, what do you mean by Sadhu Sādhvis when I say mahavratas and anuvratas? Meaning, Sadhus follow ahimsa, asteya, asatya, or satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha in a complete way. When I say complete way, meaning they completely give up their householder's life, all the possessions, and in some sects even the change of the name is also there, because that name which was given by parents, which till now they have attained, that was related with your worldly life, but in some sect they retain their name. That is a different topic. So that is, you cut off from your worldly life and you take diksha, you accept this mahavratas, in complete way. That means now you're not earning, you have your daily duties which I'll mention in a bit. You follow that completely, in a complete way. Apart from these 5 Mahavratas, there are Siksha Vratas and there are Guna Vratas. So what are the Guna Vratas? There are 3 Guna Vratas: Digvrat, Desha Vrat and Anartha Danda Vrata. And 4 Shiksha Vratas are Samayika, Paushada, Upavasa, Upabhoga, Paribhoga and Athithi Samvibhaga. So these vows a monk or a nun or a sadhu and sadhvi follows completely. Okay, apart from it, they have to follow the 6 avashyaks. So what is the 6 avashyaks? In the 6 avashyaks, you have there are 2 sets of avashyaks. Okay, in the first set of avashyak, you have Deva Puja, worship to the gods; Guru Upasti, that is worship the preceptor; Swadhyaya, you study the scripture; Sanyama, practice of self-control; Tapa, practice of austerities; and Dana, giving gifts. Now this is basically for the Shrāvakas, because Dana is only Dana. Who can give Dana? Somebody who owns something. When I own something of my earned money, then only I can give Dana. And the next set of avashyaks are Samayika, you follow 48 minutes of equanimous state of mind, that is Samayika. Then Chaturvimshati Stava is eulogy or remembering the 24 Tirthankaras, singing praises of the 24 Tirthankaras. Vandana is you give respect, salutation to the 5 highest Jain monks, that is Acharya, Upadhyaya, Pravartaka, Sthavira and Ratnadhika. Then you have Pratikraman. In Pratikraman, whatever activities you have performed, impure activities you have performed, you seek forgiveness in Pratikramana. Then you have Karyotsarga. In Karyotsarga, this is a very peculiar, unique kind of meditation where you go into, it is a higher state of meditation where it is Utsarga of Kaya, where a separation of body and soul has to be experienced. It comes with a great practice. So here you concentrate only, of course it is a very giving up attachment to your body. That is mainly Kayotsarga. And this is where the main challenge comes. Rest all our activities and you do equanimous state of mind. You worship the Tirthankaras, you worship your gurus. But the important thing is how you experience the detachment of soul and body. This is Karyotsarga. And the last one is Pratyakhyana, renunciation and its declaration. Meaning, whatever you give up on certain things, say food and material things and all those things, is like you renounce that. And internal renunciation is you practice with full faith, darshan, gnan, charitra, with full faith you internalize all these pure mental states. So this is where, when you internalize the mental states, in the sense faith, knowledge, energy, bliss and the pure mental thoughts, they completely help you to transform. That is Pratyakhyana. One is giving up, one is taking in. So when you take in, you are closing your windows. That means no new karmas come and attach you. And therefore, of course, then Nirjara is there. But with this, you are first closing your doors. So 6 set of avashyaks. First 6 sets and the second 6 sets one has to follow. Now, there are very other important things also. That is a daily life of a Sādhus and Sādhvis. What is the daily routine life of a Sādhus and Sādhvis? So the text mentions that the Sādhus and Sādhvis have, their daily routine is divided into like say 4 parts of the day and 4 parts of the night. Now what are the 4 parts? We all know how early morning is very important. Okay, before the sunset, early, very early morning, or still it might be dark. Generally we feel so sleepy between 2 and 5 in the morning. It's where we have the deepest of the sleep. But interestingly, 3:34 is the best time to meditate. We normally say it's a Brahma Muhurat. All the highest meditative states are experienced at those times. So that is the best time when the sadhu sadhvis or the ascetics have to wake up. And so each part, of course, in a technical term, is divided into porsi. So the first, or this is like, the first prahar, in a way you can say, you carry out the devotion or venerate, remembering the 24 Tirthankaras. Then you perform Karyotsarg. Then you do Chaitya Vandan, and then you perform the morning Pratikaman. Then you do Pratilehan. Pratilehan means you scan the clothes. After that, then the sun rises. Okay, the sun would have risen. Then what you do, that means all these activities are commenced before the sunrise. So approximately in all these activities, you imagine generally what time the sun rises. Maybe in the summers it is early, like 6:30 or so. In winters it is late, 7:30. So from 4 o'clock to 6:30, 6:30, all these activities has to be completed. So you remember the Tirthankaras, Chaitya Vandan, then you do Karyotsar, then you do Pratikaman, then you do Pratilehana. So Pratikaman is where you seeking forgiveness from your whatever atichar or the vows, whatever you have transgressed. Okay, you have taken a vow, suppose ahimsa, and you are unable to follow intentionally or unintentionally. So you remember that throughout the night, whatever papa you have committed, meaning whatever, when you have taken a vow, in that vow, whatever you have broken the vows, you are asking forgiveness for that, and you will be aware next time. That is Pratikaman. So this is what you do before the till the sun rises. The Sadhu Sādhvis, that is the daily activity of them. Activity meaning, of course, it is basically awareness. Okay, awareness of mind, body and speech, where your soul is stable. One has to keep the soul stable. Then after the sunrise and the first quarter of the day, you inspects and cleans his whatever belongings are there again, and then pays respect to his gurus. Then the acharya will delegate the work, if any. Then the monk or the nun, sadhu or the sadhvi, has to go for the food. Then second policy, he meditates. Third policy, of course, he begs food and eats food. In the fourth policy, he goes and studies. After paying respect to the superiors, he or she does pratikaman, and he inspects the lodging, meaning wherever they are staying. Then again Karyotsarg. That means now evening pratikaman, what do? You seek forgiveness for the full day's activities or vows, whatever you have transgressed. So morning you do for the whatever wrong actions have happened in the night. Evening Pratikaman, you do whatever actions or vows you have transgressed from morning to evening. Whatever vows you have transgressed, one has to do Pratikaman. Then Karyotsar. And then again evening meditation, sleeping for some time, and again the same routine. So the ascetics have this routine to follow. Of course, we know that for this is what is prescribed in the Shastras. But there are many other things which happen, because they are early morning, they are in the vihar, they move, and then during Paryushan they have all other activities to do, but they have to try to stick to these activities. In the sense, this is a routine life of the ascetics. Now, the important thing is, apart from the anuvratas, they have to follow restraint. As I say, stability, control. Manogupti, Vachanagupti, Kaya Gupti. Now restrain here, Gupti meaning control. Okay, so pure thoughts, you control on your thoughts. Sometimes we think anything. We just don't know what we are thinking. We don't know what questions are coming. You streamline your thoughts. One has to streamline. Streamlining meaning what? Whatever is your goal, you streamline your thoughts on your goal. So you become one with that action. Speech. Your speech has to be controlled. No unnecessary speech. Control your speech. Speak when necessary. Kaya Gupti, unnecessarily you are not moving. You only move when required. So this is control. Gupti, control. And 5 samitis. Okay. 5 samitis meaning what? Carefulness. Okay. The first what I mentioned is control, and these 3 are carefulnesses. Now, when I say carefulnesses, what are these 5 carefulnesses? So, Iriya Samiti is walking carefully. Bhasha Samiti is speaking carefully. Ashana Samiti is begging and eating food in a prescribed manner. Adana Nikshepana Samiti is taking and putting things away very carefully. And Utsarga Samiti is whenever you have to answer the nature's call, one has to answer the nature's call in a very, very careful way, inspecting the place as to no himsa is taking place. So basically all these actions are to limit your thought, speech and action, and whenever you are doing it, you have to be careful. Jaina Purvak, with awareness. This is only to create a heightened state of awareness so that even in your deep sleep or even in your meditation, of course you don't know what is going around, but you cannot be, you are self-engrossed, but even in that self-engrossed, unintentionally also, no himsa has to take place. Yes, it comes with practice that one has to understand. So, Mahavratas, Samitis, Guptis, Avashyaks, daily routine. This is what is a life of Sadhus and Sādhvis. Now, coming to the Shrāvakas. Now, as I told you that we talk about Shrāvakas. Now, those who cannot take a big leap, going from samsara to, completely from grahastha to life of a sannyasi. What is they can do? So they take the vows, whatever the mahavratas are there, they follow that in a limited way. Because they are earning money, they are cooking food, business, relatives, and lots of other things are there. So who is a Shravaka or Shravika? Shrunoti iti Shravak, one who hears. Shrāvakas. So monks are one who gives discourse. Shravaka is one who hears, retains, practices, aspires to become a sadhu or sadhvi, aspires to become an ascetics. Because according to the Shraman tradition, Jainism or Buddhism, a nirvana can only be attained in the life of through a life of an ascetic. So now Shravaka, Shravikas, of course, now again here, same, it is ahimsa, satya, steya, brahmacharya, parigraha, all the siksha vratas, guna vratas, everything is as per whatever has been prescribed for in the mahavratas. Here when you say brahmacharya in a limited way, in the sense why? Because you have to have the vow of accepting one wife or only one, one wife and one husband, meaning one partner. Parigraha, because you have the limitation of, you should take the limitation of clothes. Okay, suppose even if you say you have 10 clothes, you don't buy 11th cloth, you take the vow that for next year, one whole year, I'm going to manage in say 11 clothes, or I will have only one house, or I will have the challenge is to accept limit. You say I earn 1 crore or rupee 1 crore, and my target is to earn 1 crore in 1 year. Suppose in 6 months you earn 1 crore rupee, that now you have taken a vow. That means now what you will not earn, that you will not own, probably you distribute that money, you won't possess. So the challenge is you accept all the vows. You say ahimsa, or you say satya, I will only speak the truth, what, no matter what, or asteya, I will not lie, I will limit myself in, I will not steal. So one has to control, and that is the biggest challenge in the challenge is even in the life of asceticism, even in the worldly life, it is all the more, because you are doing business, you are in a profession, you are in a housewife is dealing with so many things. Of course women are also working now, they have so many things to deal with. Now here all this helps us to purify the thought, purify our life. Therefore, even if you say, I will possess 2 cars, okay, the challenge is not to have the third car. That is a challenge. You may have 50 clothes, but the challenge is not to buy the 51st cloth. Nobody is asking you to be poor. The challenge is to limit yourself. Now here, so this is a life of, and of course the Shrāvakas also have their daily routine. Now it is not as strict as the Sādhus, of course, but one has to do the morning pratikrama, then maybe go to the temple if at all, or you remember the tirthankaras at home, then you have your business to do, then you have to read, you have to go worship the gurus, you read, do meditation, samayika and evening pratikrama also. So at least if not every day, at least on the big days of 8th or the 14th or the 15th of the lunar cycle, or on the big days you fast, or 12 types of nirjara, whatever you can do, one can do that. Now, and again, here also, so one has to do that in the daily life. Here also there are stages of Shrāvakas, because Shrāvakas also progress. What are the stages of Shrāvaka? So the first is Pakshika Shrāvaka. It's a basic starting point. These Pakshika means Paksha. I take one side. Now you are convinced of ahimsa, you are convinced of vow. So you start at least feeling, yes, I follow ahimsa. You try to follow the rules and regulations. You have the inclination. You start having faith in Jain religion. You practice anuvratas. So this is Pakshika Shrāvaka. Then the second, when you progress, it's Naistika Shrāvaka. What is Naistika Shrāvaka? No, Naistika Shrāvaka is what, like say suppose you have done 10th standard. Now you are going to college, 5 years of college. So Naistika Shrāvaka is somebody who practices 11 pratimas. Okay, 11 pratimas, who pursues till he attains the 11th stage, and he becomes, 11th stage is a point where that person becomes it is like a transitioning phase, you become a sadhu. So in the Naistika Shrāvaka is one who practices the 11 pratimas, who almost lives like a sadhu but not yet a sadhu. So if there are 11 pratimas, so that person practices all the vows, anuvratas, mula gunas, that is shiksha vratas, guna vratas. So what are the 11 pratimas? So if I name them, it is darshan pratima, meaning who possesses faith, intelligence. Then vrat pratima, observes all the vratas, etc. Samayik pratima, paushada, सचित त्याग, रात्रि भोजन त्याग, ब्रह्मचर्य प्रतिमा, आरंभ त्याग, परिग्रह त्याग, अनुमति त्याग, and uddishta tyaga. So this is the 11th where the person completely live like a monk. And then the last is the sadhaka Shrāvaka. Who is a sadhaka Shrāvaka? Suppose not yet become a monk, but now a stage has come where this person accepts Salekna. Now here it is a Salekna, as we know, it's a peaceful death by renunciation, gradual renunciation of your, you take vratas, you do samayik pratikrama, everything, and now a stage has come where you are giving up of food gradually. You give up of food gradually, water gradually. It is slowly you give up. If you are eating 4 times, you come to 3 times, 2 times, 1 time, then you come only on water, and you accept Salekna, complete fasting. And maybe a stage comes on, as your soul is progressing, a stage comes where even body will not take water. So this is a sadhaka Shrāvaka. So dear friends, one understands the house of a sadhu sadhvi and the house of a Shrāvak Shrāvika. When all these 4 perform the vratas, this is a 4-fold community in Jainism. And this is the Sangha. So the Tirthankara establishes the Sangha. It is not like a formal institution, but the institution, organization which stands on the vratas. It's morality, ethics, morality. Last lecture we had done about Jnana, Darshan and Charitra. That is a foundation, that is a roots, and on which this whole building of Sadhu, Sadhvi, Shrāvak, Shrāvika stands. So this is the Sangha. And an individual progresses when the Sangha provides all that base to grow. Like in the garden, you have so many different kinds of fruits or flowers or tree. like that everybody can blossom and bloom. So every Tirthankar has their own Sangha. Like Pashwanath had its Sangha, but gradually then it spread. Then Mahavir Swami came, and Mahavir Swami established a Sangha. So there is a transition. Today, of course, there are many sect and subsect. So each has become a Sangha. When the Tirthankar establishes on the moral order, yes, but what happens? These are rules and regulations are there for the people to flourish. You flourish morally, ethically. You flourish, and the Sangha provides a base for the person to move ahead in a life. So, in a short, brief way, we have done about the nature of the Sangha. What are the activities and the life of a Sadhu, Sādhvis, and the Shravak and Shravika. So this is how you become a Jaina. When you accept the vratas, you become a Jaina, not just by birth. Meaning, when you can start with small vows. Okay, you can start with aparigraha, or you can start with brahmacharya, or you can start with speaking the truth. Small, you can decide, today I'm only going to eat only, say, every day. If you're eating 18 kinds of food, you decide, okay, at least today I will eat 17 kinds. Maybe after some days only 16. You limit. Gradually you will see the transition in you. And of course, if everybody follows in its own way, everybody gives energy to each other to follow. And it is always said to move around sadharmikas. Sadharmikas, one who share the same mindsets. Therefore, being a part of the Sangha is very useful. To take the part in the activities of the Sangha is very useful. Okay, so here we end this topic of Sangha, and then we move into the next topic, that is women in Jainism. Thank you.